Hey y'all, I met Morris Chestnut, Taye Diggs, and Malcolm D. Lee this weekend. But that's not what actually filled me up this weekend. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Menopause Moguls, Navigating Midlife-ish with yours truly, Dr. Joyelle. Y'all, I got a story to tell. Let me just start by saying I am full. Okay, this weekend left me so full. It was everything. Okay. Um, but I'm gonna start with my meeting with my celebrity crush, Morris Chestnut. So, um, I went out with a group of sister docs, doctor friends, on Saturday night, and there was a private event that we attended that was showcasing Sable Bourbon, which is the bourbon brand of Morris Chestnut, Taye Diggs, Malcolm D. Lee, and Harrison, I think his last name, Purno. So Harrison, Taye, and Morris are the actors in The Best Man. Malcolm D. Lee, for those of you who don't know, because I actually had to Google him because I didn't really know who he was. But he is a producer of the movie, one of my favorite movies, The Best Man, and all the series that happened after that. And also a fun fact, Malcolm D. Lee is also a cousin of Spike Lee. We all know Spike Lee. So I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So that was cool. So yeah, we were able to attend this private event and bought bottles of Sable Bourbon. Now, okay, I'm not a brown liquor girl. Okay, I'm usually like a very fruity cocktail. I'm a lightweight. I can't do the heavy stuff. But I bought a bottle. My husband drinks bourbon, so I was like, all right, I buy a bottle, so they can sign it for me. And so I got my bottle, bought my bottle, and then they basically directed us to this area where they were standing to sign our bottles and take pictures. And let me just tell y'all, okay, I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. I was like a little bit starstruck, okay? I was kind of fumbling over my words. Oh God, I was like, girl, get it together in my head. Get it together. But before all that, leading up to this event, right? So I knew I was going a few days beforehand. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to wear. Well, I'm in a group. One of my friends who coordinated all this, she put us in a group chat. And we're all like, I don't know what you wearing. What you wearing? I don't know what I'm wearing. I don't know. So I'm like, what am I going to wear? Okay. Like, obviously I got to look cute, right? So I'm like, all right, let me go to the mall and see if I can find something. And of course, I didn't find nothing. So I'm like, all right, let me go in my closet and see what I can fit. Right? Y'all know, y'all, some of y'all must know. Like, you have these clothes in your closet, and you're looking at them like, I can't even fit that no more. It's cute, but I can't even fit it. So I went through multiple iterations of outfits to attend this event. And ended up with something real cute, little blazer, little bustier with a little bling and a pencil skirt. So I was cute, y'all. I'm gonna have to say, my girls was like, where you going? And I'm like, I'm going to go meet Taye Diggs and Morris Chestnut. They looking at me like, who's that? Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. But anyway, I did finally find something, and I looked cute, as well as my friends. We were all looking cute. And so, yeah, so going back to the signing, they asked you your name, and I had to spell mine because it was like, how do you spell that? So I was spelling it. Taye Diggs was trying to make fun of my name, y'all, but I was like, that's okay. That's okay. But they signed it for me. We took a picture. And then after that, we went out. Me and the sister docs went out to dinner, basically kind of connected to the place where they were signing the bottles. So we had a great time just hanging out, and just being with the girls and chit-chatting about all the things outside of medicine, which was also cool, right? So, thinking about I was looking good on the outside, right? Looking real good. But I realized like this whole weekend was really about what was happening on the inside. There was certainly shifts happening within me. And not from this little event, let me tell you. I mean, it was great and all, but this weekend was actually the weekend of the American College of OBGYN's convention. And it was held here in DC, in DMV. And so it started actually on Friday. So I went on Friday to attend a couple of lectures. I learned some things. I'm gonna do another podcast, couple of podcast episodes to talk about what I learned in regards to new treatments, non-hormonal treatments that are coming down the line for hot flashes, as well as supplements, and just other things in regards to health, women's health and wellness. So yes, I went Friday for a couple of lectures, and just seeing a bunch of people at the convention, some Black OBGYNs that were my attendings when I was a resident. Some were my co-residents or, residents right before me, like my chief residents, and friends from my prior practice. And just also friends, friends that I really didn't meet in real life. So basically a lot of us follow each other and, support each other through Instagram or Facebook. And I was able to meet, some of those ladies that I've been following for a long time and never really got to meet them in real life. So it was good to hug on everybody and just meet and, just chit chat with each other. And just, reconnecting with different Black women that was really influential in different seasons of my life and of my career. This convention was also special because it was actually the induction of a new president. And this year was the first time they had a Black female OBGYN as the president of the American College of OBGYN. Dr. Camille Claire, I must shout her out. She was actually one of my chief residents when I was a medical student in Buffalo. So that, just to see her going from there, from when I saw her back then to now being the president of what we call ACOG, was just a tremendous, this amazing feeling just to watch her in her speech and talk about, who influenced her and how she has, building a legacy around the things that she's been passionate about in women's health. And she talked about, going through the things that she's gone through and getting to where she was, but she didn't do it all by herself. She definitely had, mentors and friends and family and sorority sisters and, many people who helped not only support her, but also helped her envision herself as the leader that she has become. So it was just great to see that. And just realizing that this whole convention in general, people go to conventions to network. It was more than networking. It was nourishing. It was nourishment just to see, because, Black OBGYNs, they showed up and showed out. Because of what was happening at this convention, and because the Michelle Obama, our forever first lady, was the speaker for Sunday. Friday, like I said, Friday and Saturday during the day, I attended lectures and learned some things. And then on Sunday morning, there was a fireside chat with Michelle Obama, which I am a fangirl. Everybody was fangirling, as always for her. Like, she is just such an amazing woman. Like, the things that she has accomplished in her life. And in the conversation, she talked about her time in the White House and how she needed community, how she had to be intentional about creating community. And I don't know if you have ever heard her mention her kitchen table, like basically being intentional about creating a group of friends that they can hang out at the kitchen table and just talk about all the things. So she talked about how she invited a bunch of her girlfriends, like every quarter, to Camp David to do a boot camp. And she said this boot camp was ridiculous. They was doing like burpees and like running up this big old hill, weights and all these things. And she was just jokingly saying, like, I'm surprised they still my friends because it was hard. But she was saying how they continue to show up every time when she invited them because of the community that was, embedded in this quarterly meeting, as well as them being able to be intentional about being healthy and well and doing that in community, which I think is so, so, so important, especially as we are, living in these midlife streets and realizing that even her at her level, at her highest level, she needed community. She needed a circle of friends to support her and talk about all the things. She mentioned menopause a lot. She has two friends that are actually OBGYNs, and they would ask them questions while, when they met up with each other and asked about, menopause. And they talked about, different health conditions and fibroids and, all the things in regards to women's health. So it was good to, again, realize the importance of creating a circle around you and creating community as you're going through different things in your life. And then after Michelle Obama's speech, again, reconnecting with, I found more friends and more colleagues and residents and like people that I've met throughout the seasons of my career, my education, training, and career. Took more pictures, and then there was a brunch that a bunch of Black women OBGYNs attended in DC, getting together and just sitting down, chit-chatting, eating some good food, which was also very nourishing. Very nourishing. And again, it just reminded me of the importance of having like-minded people around you, like-minded women, and how that just changes something inside of you. It helps, you're now being validated in the things that you may be feeling, wherever you are in your career. You can find some support. You can find someone who may be going through something similar. You find that a lot of our stories can be different, but also very similar, right? So just connecting on those levels was just beautiful to experience. And then that Sunday evening, I hopped on a Zoom call with a group of women. It's a community that I intentionally joined to have support as I am continuing to navigate different transitions of my life. And just being on that Zoom call on Sunday evening, again, just reminded me of the power of community, us sharing our stories, us being vulnerable, not only with each other, but with ourselves. And again, feeling seen, feeling heard, and affirmed that you are not alone. You can get to the other side of whatever you're going through. And just having that sister circle around you is just so important, and what I've definitely been intentional about creating for myself. Because before, I grew up in a household of 5 sisters, so I have a sister circle, right? But as I've gotten older, I realized that I've also needed, and I'm close with my sisters, right? And we try to get together also as often as possible. But I've also found that it's important for me to also have a group of girlfriends that I can, be able to, get together and create new friendships, right? So I've certainly I've continued to create new friendships, and I never thought like, by this age I'm gonna make new friends, but I'm continuing to make new friends, right? A new circle of, again, like-minded women who really are intentional about their health, about their wellness, about protecting their peace. And I've found that to have, and I have different, different communities. I have different group chats, right? And it's all, again, intentional to have those things in my life that I'm able to, lean on when I'm going through the hard things, right? Going through the challenging times when, taking care of aging parents and raising children and trying to do things, trying to do different things as far as career and business. So having sister circles that you can lean on, I found that so important. And I know as high achieving women, we are, used to functioning on a level that at the same time we're not full, right? We're not filled up. We have normalized being depleted and being exhausted. So community is no longer a luxury as we are navigating midlife transitions. It is a requirement as we are going through the ebbs and flows of this midlife journey. Some people may feel like as you're going through even the emotional, the physical, the mental ups and downs of midlife, you need a supplement. You need a new strategy. But sometimes you just need a circle. You just need a circle of sisters to hold you, wipe your tears, that you can call on whenever. Just that sister circle. Ask questions, get other opinions of different things, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business move, whether it's whatever that thing is. And again, you may have like different circles for different things, like a circle for, business, a circle for your whatever career sector you're in, a circle for just, your overall health and wellness. So you can definitely have different circles, different communities that you're connected with. But the important thing is that you have a circle, right? Whether it's multiple, one or two, whatever, however many you need. And that's what you figure out, right? You learning to get to know yourself again in this season of your life. You realize, you kind of figure out what you actually need, and then be intentional about building those type of circles around you so that you can continue to thrive as you are, again, going through the challenging stuff. Because y'all all know life be lifing, and midlife shift happens and you don't know when it's going to hit, right? So to be better prepared, it's important for us to have community, for us to have a circle around us to hold us down when we don't feel like, so we don't have to be the strong one all the time. And this is why I am creating 50 Shades of Melanin, a midlife movement. I realize that many women are craving community, are craving a safe space to vent the things that they may be going through in their careers, in their workplaces, in their businesses, in their relationships. They need a safe space. And I wanted to be intentional about creating a space, not only to give information, not only to educate, but also make connections and have space for reflections, and expanding their minds to what midlife can actually look like, right? Where they're not just surviving, but actually thriving, even when shit is hard. Like even when shit is hitting the fan, they can still be able to create a safe space for themselves. And that a lot of times can be rooted in community. So that was my weekend, y'all. I am full. I am full, right? And like I said, when I am planning for this event, as I've said I think in the last episode, it's sold out, right? It's sold out within 2 weeks, I think, which again tells me that this is necessary. And this is not an event. It's a movement. It's a midlife movement. And it's about creating a room that transforms you, in these midlife streets. That is the goal, right? So I am looking to, expand the territory and do this event, this movement, this experience more than one time. Like this is the first one here in the DMV, at Wellspring Manor and Spa, which is a Black woman owned bed and breakfast. And I want to do more. So if you are in a different city and you know at least 50 women who will be in the room, who wants to be in the room, send me a DM on Instagram. Or if you can put it in, you can write a review if you're listening on the podcast, and also let me know in that review. If you're here watching on YouTube, you can leave it in the comments. Or you can subscribe to my website, drjoyelle.com, and send me a message through there. So if you wanted to bring 50 Shades of Melanin, a midlife movement to your city, let me know. Because I am looking to expand the territory, because as I'm speaking, to more and more women, even over this weekend, they're like, we need that. When are you going to do another one? So I am, feeling led, to definitely move forward with that. And again, let me also be clear. This is scary. Right? Like it was already scary for planning this first one, right? So now to think about expanding and doing it more than one time and in different cities, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, I'm scared. Okay. I like to keep it real with y'all. I am scared. Okay. But I know my God, and I have to tell you that He has carried me through a lot, as I've planned this event. Okay, I was not planning to cry. Oh boy. Okay. He has gotten me through some things as I'm still planning this event. But at the same time, I know that I am aligned with what I'm supposed to be doing. I know he has called me to do this experience. And again, he is calling me to do this experience more than once. That's why I have to do it, because I am trying to be obedient. And so yeah. So that is where I am, where I want to be real with y'all in the sense that I'm doing this, I'm creating this space and doing it scared, all at the same time. But I know that it is necessary. I know that there are women, especially Black women, who are out there who feel like they are navigating this midlife stuff, these transitions, all these things that are happening in their life, and they feel alone. They feel like they don't know what the hell is going on. They feel like, what's next, or what does the future look like? They're feeling all the things, and they need a safe space to share their story, to connect with other sisters, to be able to just feel the feels and nourish themselves, because I want them to leave full after this experience too, like I feel full after this whole weekend. Like, like I said, it has been everything. The power of community is just, I can't describe it, to be honest. I really can't describe it. But I am full, and I'm realizing that fullness doesn't always come from what I have achieved, but come from who I experience life's moments with. So yeah. All right, y'all. So that was my weekend. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all weekend. So if any of that resonates, like I said, let me know if you are interested. I do have a wait list for 50 Shades of Melanin, a midlife movement here in the DMV in regards to, again, like I definitely want to do another one in the DMV. So join the wait list if you are here in the DMV. So as I'm planning to, again, figure out what that looks like. And if any of this resonates and you know someone else who it may resonate with, please share. Please share. And again, leave a 5-star review, leave a comment if you're watching here on YouTube. I want feedback, y'all. I need y'all to tell me, is there something else that you are missing? Is there something else that you are craving as you are walking through these midlife streets? Because I'm here to serve you. That is why I'm here. That is why I keep coming back. As I've taken multiple breaks from, recording a podcast episode, from, going to talk to my email list. Like, I've taken y'all know I've disappeared and come back, disappeared, but I keep showing up because this is what God wants me to do. So I have to be real transparent. I'm trying to be better. Like I'm trying to be better in regards to consistency, in regards to pouring into you all, and just, bringing it all together, basically, so that you all have the, guidance. You can potentially kind of see yourselves in whatever I share, and be the best version of yourself as you are going through these different midlife transitions. So, all right, y'all, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for sharing the podcast. If you've shared it in the past, please continue to share. And as always, sending love and light to you all until the next time. All right, y'all, take care.